So today's presentation is on the road signs provision as per IRC 67. Because IRC 67 is complete, it including the national highways and expressways both. Further, that IRC SP 99 has also come. Some of the additional provisions which for the expressway that has been missed out in 67, that has been further included in IRC SP 99. So basically, what is the need of the traffic signs? It's a language of the road users to improve. It improves the efficiency of the road system, because according with the signs, the road users are guided to move on to the different directions. So it's basically information when and where it is most effective. We have to provide the signs for the guidance, for warning, and for the regulation of the traffic, for the orderly movement of the traffic on our highways. So it's basically to fulfill a need, it should place road sign, conveys clear message and simple meaning, command attention, command respect from the road users. If you put too many the speed limit signs, then it may not get the command or respect from the road users. Give adequate time for response and decision making, particularly on the expressways. Sign has to be placed so that the road user can see it and then take decision for going into the right and left or leaving from the expressway. So basically, three kinds of signs are there. It is regulatory means or mandatory signs and order signs. O means order signs, where the road user has to follow the order, and if the road user don't follow the order, then he can be challaned, a ticket can be issued. Then warning signs. If there is an hazard in front of the driver, then these warning signs are placed. And finally, the third category is informatory signs, where the rectangular signs are there. It is to provide the information to the road users. So most important is sighting of the signs, means its height and clearance. This picture, this diagram is already given in IRC 67 with dimensions, that how much it should be away on the shoulder side, how much it should be away on the onto the median side, what should be the height clearance, or in case of cutting, how much it should be placed. So these dimensions are given regarding the sighting of the signs, height and clearance. So extreme edge, just a minute. The extreme edge of the ground mounted signs, wherever it is on the shoulder side, it shall be a distance of 600 mm to 3 meter from the carriageway or paved shoulder edge. On curved roads, if it is a curve, now basically curves will be only for the footpath. On median side, we are already providing the depressed median or the flush median. Then the lowest sign shall not be less than 2.1 meter or not more than 2.5 meter. 2.1 meter is the purpose is that the pedestrian can move safely below the this signs. And on roads without curves, it can be 2.5 meter or not more than 2.5 meter above the crown of the pavement. So you can see some of the photographs I have attached with how it is being fixed on the sides, but one should not fix it. If you fix it, as you can see on the left photograph, it has been fixed on the earthen shoulder. And in the case of crash barrier, it has been placed, but the sign is inside the crash barrier. So both the signs, if you fix it like this, then these are hazards to the traffic. And the sign, which it can get damaged within no time, as you can see, this is the photograph. It has been damaged. So it's a very costly signs, for 20,000, 40,000 has been spent, and it gets hit by any vehicle. So overhead sign should have a minimum vertical clearance of 5.5 meter, and it is desirable to have 6 meter, because when you do the overlay, particularly in the case of bituminous pavement, then you need not shift it immediately, and it should be from the highest point, from the crown point, or in case of super elevation, it should be the highest point on the super elevation. Then gantry mounted sign, preferably it should be 7 meter or more distance away from the traffic line on the shoulder side, and 2 meter from the curb towards the median side. If it can't be done because of land constraint, then it should be protected by the crash barrier. And foundation, the foundation, it has been seen, because in case of gantry sign, both posts are having the same length. Then the height of the foundation is being varied. It should not be like that. Instead of that, the gantry post that should be of different size. And whatever the foundation has been placed, that should be yellow and black. Vertical bar should be marked as per IRC 35. As you can see in this case that gantry should be away from the shoulder, because whatever the shoulder, earthen shoulder or gravel shoulder, it is for the road use. It is for the road user. Whenever the vehicle goes onto the earthen shoulder, or it damages the crash barrier, and it should not hit immediately the gantry post. It should be away from that. And as it is, you can see in the left photograph, the concrete foundation, it is very high in this case. And on the other side, you can say in the other photograph, it is very near to the, it is on the shoulder, and there is no protection, particularly by the crash barrier. Then what are the guidelines for mounting signs? Everything is from IRC 67 in this case. The side mounted road signs means where it is to be placed, generally appropriate for all types of roads with adequate roadside spaces are available. Cantilever are more economical, where small directions you have to say you have to go left and right. And gantry signs means half gantry or full gantry. It is appropriate for large signs and when the traffic lanes are 3 or more or 6 lanes in aggregate. And then double butterfly cantilever, it is basically wherever the exits are there in case of interchanges. These are very useful double butterfly cantilever signs. These are different photographs according to which you can differentiate the different kind of gantry signs are provided. So sighting of the road signs along highways, it should be now installed on corridor-based development, as it has been done in Delhi Mumbai Expressway, and it is being done by Mr. Mudit on this Delhi Jammu highway expressway. So corridor approach, as in the case of highway, it has been now given from start is from this location to this location. So the further station should be mentioned, further destination should be mentioned on the right hand side, and the other locations is to be mentioned on the left or in the middle. And the all interchanges signs should on the crossroad also, it is being on the crossroad signs are not fixed, but in case of interchange it should be invariably fixed at 500 meter, 1 kilometer and at 2 kilometers. Signs on ramps, slip road and service roads, it should be provided corresponding to the design speed of the main carriageway. This is very, very important because service roads are for 40 kmph or 50 kmph, slip roads are for 60 or 70 kmph. Then the signs are being reduced. Actually, particularly on the service road, the horizontal geometry is same. The traffic may be flying on a higher speed, and then visibilities of the signs gets affected. And this has been reported by safety auditors on the different locations which has been recently installed. So this should be taken care of, that all the signs on these ramps, slip roads and service road shall be designed corresponding to the design speed of the main carriageway. Next is that all signs boards shall be bilingual, regional or local and English, except entry exit. What should be on entry exit? It should be trilingual. Irrespective, it is not like that for southern state, it should be applicable in Bengal also, West Bengal also, or it is applicable in Punjab also. And these kind of signs, it has been placed like regional local language, Hindi and English. The different modes and font size are there as per IRC 67. It is given. Then sighting of the gantry signs. Gantry signs should be generally placed 200-meter distance before the intersection so that the driver can see it and react to it. And reassurance signs after the intersection or after the interchange, it shall be placed 100 to 150 meter after the intersecting point. Place identification signs are generally placed 90 meter to 150 meter in advance of the start of the built-up area. Flag type direction signs are generally installed at the nose of diverging lanes. And the number of signs should be placed at 0.6 V apart. V is the design speed, so that it can be easily visible. And one more clause is there: whenever there is insufficient space or lanes are 3 or more, then it should be invariably gantry mounted signs only. As you see, too many signs are there, so it may not be possible for the driver to visualize and react it may be that nothing, no action from the driver. Orientation of the sign should be there. Signs are generally placed at right angle to the line of travel of approaching traffic. This is very, very important because ultimately it is retro reflective. Uh, headlight goes to that and reflection drivers can see. So that's why mounting should be, orientation of the sign should be accordingly. Parking sign fixed at 15 degree. And in case of horizontal curve, it should be slightly turned away 95 degree to enhance the visibility during the night. And in the case of gradient up and down, it is accordingly, signs are being placed forward and backward to make it vertical. Then fabrication, the plate thickness on which the sheet is to be fixed, it should be 2 mm in case of aluminum plate, and in case of aluminum composite material, which is not theft proof also, because it doesn't have any value, money value, then it should be minimum 4 mm for signs exceeding maximum height of 600 mm, and on national highway expressway, most of the signs or all signs are more than 600 mm, so it has to be invariably 4 mm. Then typing of sheet should be type 11 only, and on the SH or other small notes it can be type 4, and fabrication should be 1200 mm is the sheet size. It should be jointless only if it is up to 1200 mm side. If it is more than joint, should be minimum. Then printing of message, legends, letters, numeral should be digitized only. It should be sign post, gantry shall be GI post, and 2 coats of epoxy paint or powder coating on GI post shall be done. Sign having area of 0.9 square meter can be mounted on single pole. Other sign should be mounted on 2 poles only. And the gantry, whatever is to be designed, that should be designed for the wheel load and the live load. Both is to be considered for design of the gantry. This is the recent concept which has come, that all the signs should have a QR code on the back of it, that when it has been installed, what is the project name, who is the manufacturer name, means converter name, then type of sheeting used, month and year of installation, or any other details. It will be very, very useful for inventory, and then to judge that if these signs have been taken away, theft or vandalized, so accordingly replacement can be done. I have given specifically the difference in IRC 67, 2012 and 2022, because lot of talk is being done that so many changes have come, which is not the case. As you can say, in the case of mandatory signs, except the 121 to 150 kmph speed signs have been introduced. Otherwise, the signs are almost same only. Same in the case of cautionary sign, that speed limit has been added, but no major change is there. In case of shoulder mounted sign, advanced direction sign, generally we are concerned with 80 to that 120 only, and then expressway it is 120. So you can see size is lowercase, instead of 200 now 215, and instead of 280 now it is 300. So you can see hardly the size of the sign is 10 to 15 mm, 20 mm has been increased. And in the case of lower speed limits, it has been reduced. Same in the case of type direction sign, reassurance sign, and place identification sign. It is 150 to 170, 210 to 240. So very little sign size, font size has been changed, and the board size will very only, you can say 10 centimeter, 20 centimeter, maximum 30 centimeter, it will increase, nothing more than that. Same in the case of overhead direction signs. Then what is the mandatory and regulatory signs? See, these are the different kinds of mandatory and regulatory signs. Stop and giveaways are the two different signs. Further prohibitory signs are all are order signs, O signs, and the size is as it is 900, 1200. No parking sign, restriction signs, speed limit signs, compulsory direction control signs. And then what is the stop sign? How it is to be placed? Stop sign is to be placed 3 meter to 4.5 meter from the joining of the crossroad, and after the it is basically the speed hump which is being placed onto the crossroad. And the different signs are to be placed onto the crossroad. This figure is also from IRC 67 V.5. And depending on the speed, these signs size have been given octagonal. What is the side? It is 750, 900, 1200. For example, in this case, more than 65, whether we are having 80 kmph or 100 or 120, it is 1200 size is to be placed. Then in the case of giveaway sign is generally being placed where it is being, we are providing the channelizers. Otherwise, stop signs are being placed. Then different kinds of prohibited signs. Prohibited signs means the different kind of activities or vehicles which cannot be, which are prohibited on the roads and highways. So it can be single sign also, it can be one above the below also, and if space restrictions are there, then it can be gantry mounted signs also, as it has been done in the case of Delhi Meerut Expressway also. No parking, no standing, and no stopping signs. It is with blue background. Wherever it is required, these kind of signs are placed. Generally, these are being placed in the urban areas. And wherever it is required in the case of expressway, then these signs are to be placed every 5 kilometers, because it is the repeater signs we have to place every 5 kilometers. This is the new aspect which has come in IRC 67 2022. Then no parking sign is to be placed at every 5 kilometers. It is to be placed on expressway. Then height restriction sign, wherever the height restrictions are there, that it is less than the 5.5 meter in case of VOP or the underpass, then this sign should be placed. And this 5.5 meter sign should be placed from where the restriction starts. If you put this 5.5 meter sign half meter above the restriction, then it doesn't serve the purpose, and it leaves the confusion to the road user that 5.5 meter restriction is starting from there. Then speed limit signs, depending upon the speed limit, the signs of different sizes are to be placed, and again these are to be repeated. In case of 2.5 kilometer, it placed on alternate sides, and if it is on the same side, then it should be placed at every 5 kilometer. Then gateway treatment. Gateway treatment is the concept which has come up now. Gateway treatment means both sides the signs are being placed that you are entering into a restricted area or built up area. So signs are placed that yes, now you are entering where the speed restrictions are there, where the pedestrian crossings are there. So this treatment you have to place in the built up area, even onto the 4-lane highways which is passing through the built up area. This kind of signs are required to be placed. Then compulsory direction control sign. These are being placed wherever the entry exits are there, or wherever the traffic is being split two ways. So these signs are being placed. Then cautionary and warning signs. Cautionary and warning signs are, as I earlier told, that different, the dimensions are there, 67, 2012 and 2020. These are basically equilateral triangle with apex pointing towards the hazard or the caution which driver is to be given, and different dimensions are given. In this, again, 2 or more warning signs can be erected together, and the hazard which is being encountered first should be placed uppermost. These are the different kind of signs, that left hand curve, right hand curve, reverse curve, median opening, man at work, rumble strips, airport, built up area, school zone ahead, staggering intersection, speed gradient, tunnel ahead. So these signs are being placed. So the curve sign, left hand and right hand, these are being placed when the speed onto the curves have a difference of more than 15 kilometers per hour. Otherwise, the is being served by whatever chevron signs we are placing. Merging traffic ahead. The merging traffic, one should it should be fixed very carefully that through traffic is there in case of national highway. and the left road is joining, then it should be placed accordingly. It should not be the otherwise, as this kind of mistakes generally has been seen onto the project sites. Then overhead signs, pedestrian crossing, and this sign is reduction in width of carriageway wherever the structures are placed from 3-lane to 2-lane. So which side the width is getting reduced, this sign should be invariably placed. Then rumble strip sign. Chevron signs are different kinds, means single chevron, double chevron, triple chevron. And in case of national highway, it is sign is 500 to 600. And in case of expressway, it is 750 into 820. Object hazard marker signs. These are the object hazard markers, and these are also being placed. Left side means if the traffic is on the right of the hazard, then it should be placed this sign. And accordingly, two-way hazard mark sign is being placed wherever the entry exits from the slip road traffic is there. Then informatory signs. For all speeds, it is being sizes are different. Font sizes depends upon the speed of the design speed of the highway. So accordingly, the sizes of the information signs are being decided. The only difference which has come already in 67 2022 is first is the state direction, that is the Ahmedabad, then left wherever the if it is left exit is there, Surat, and then right direction is there. And in case of multi-language, these signs are like that on the right side. And even you can place that national highway number also wherever, for example, in case of 67, NH 66 in Kerala, which is under construction, land is the constraint, then the NH number can be placed onto the these kind of signs also. Then the advanced directions and map type signs are being placed, and the reassurance signs after the intersection, that Ahmedabad, Rajkot, Mobi, means whatever the three destinations you have to further go, those are being mentioned. And these are flag type destination signs. Then gantry mounted signs, it is figure 16.10 from the IRC 67. The Mumbai, as you can see in the case of Delhi Mumbai Expressway, last destination has been mentioned. The same should be done if it is like from NH44 starting from wherever starting to end, that destination should come. Then the other destination, which is the nearest, is the Vadodara where you are exiting. So this kind of sign is to be placed like that. Then wherever the exit is there, or in case of cantilever gantry, you have to provide this kind of signs, and exactly exit where it is there, exit 8, exit 7, then this kind of signs, the wherever you are exiting, the NH where you are exiting, that is being mentioned. This is basically sign placement sign given in the IRC 67. Accordingly, you have to start from the where the direction sign, and then flag sign. This is another sign is that hazard marker sign. So it has to be placed. All these layouts are being given in the IRC 67 that should be followed while placing the road signs on a median opening. On priority intersections, in case of 6-lane, the gantry sign should be placed like this. Although in case of 6 lanes, we are restricting the median openings. In case of 4-lane, but if it is their median opening, then gantry sign should be placed. And in case of entry exit, how to place the different signs. This has also been given in IRC 67 at 2 kilometer sign at 2 kilometer before the exit, then 1 kilometer, and then location where you are exiting. Like that, this sign placement is there on VOP and flyover location. These are to be placed. See, this gantry mounted signs, installing this a big sheet like this, it's a 12 meter or 15 meter side. I spoke to the sheet suppliers. They say it is difficult to handle. Moreover, it's a gantry is to be designed for wind load and all those things. If we put the signs like separate signs, attention is quick for the road users, and it is easy to handle. number of joints will be less because the sheet size is ultimately 1.2 meter only. And in addition to that, in case of damage of sign, you need not replace the full sign, you have to replace that only on that particular sign which is being damaged. So in case of entry exit, how to place the reassurance sign, that is also being given. Then color pattern of the signs for the different category of the on the grade separator. So if it is expressway versus national highway, all the signs on the national highway, that is to be in the green color, and on the expressway it is to be blue color. Then on this diamond interchange, the same pattern is shown, that how you have to place different color signs at different locations. In case of this interchange also, you have to place different signs, that 2 kilometer, 1.5 kilometer, 1 kilometer, 750 meter. So different signs are to be placed, because in this case, accordingly, the pattern has been shown. Then this is the hairpin bend signs, which is I have taken from an NHI DCL book they have shared. So there you have to place wherever the hairpin bends, that means deflection angle is more than 90 degree. Then you have to place triple chevron sign in this case, and other safety measures, whatever has been shown. Vehicle category wise speed limit signs. So the gantry, which is 11.25 meter, it has been shown in IRC 67. There is some reservation from the experts that you need not put the signs like that. Instead of that, we should put it separate sign for the speed limit of the circular signs, whatever the mandatory signs are there, instead of this big sign, because then we are restricting the different category of vehicles to those lanes only. Instead of that, we put the circular signs with the speed limits, and we put the shoulder mounted sign as it is lane 1, LMV overtaking is not prohibited, lane 2 is like that, and lane 3 is HMV. These kinds of signs are being favored as compared to the this lane defining the speed limit signs. And then further also the CCTV cameras, only these signs are to be placed with, instead of the vehicles. So these changes may come shortly in IRC 67 also, but wherever it has been installed, I request the PDs and safety auditors whosoever has joined, they give their feedback that what the reactions of the road users are. Then gantry mounted sign, wherever if it is different places, then every 5 kilometer it should be repeated. Otherwise, it is to be in case of interchange, then it should be from interchange to interchange. All signs should be placed, and then accordingly wherever required, then only additional repeater sign should be placed. If it is not required, then need not place unnecessarily. More number of signs need not be placed. Then start end of the highway, we have to place that welcome gantry and thank you gantry. Recently, that 67, this has also been introduced, that tourism related signs to be placed on all category of roads at entrance of the place or city of the different wherever we are leading to. For example, it's Agra आपका स्वागत करता है, and other places Sarnath, Varanasi. So these kind of signs, these kind of colors are now given in IRC 67, that you place this kind of tourism related signs on our highways. Then facility information, we have to place the facility information sign for the road users to. Yes, sir. Facility information is that where the eating places are there, where refreshments there, where U-turn is there, where bus bay is there. So these kind of signs are required to be placed. And in case of, for example, in case of now wayside amenities are there, then at one place these signs are being placed like that. Like this facility information, as in the case of expressways and access control highways, we are placing this kind of rest and service area signs. So different locations we have to place this kind of sign, that gantry mounted or the shoulder mounted signs, where all these signs are being placed on one board. So provide at nosing where is to be provided the rest area service area sign at nosing at 500 meter, 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer and 5 kilometer from the start of the exit declaration, because the speeds are too high, 120 kilometer per hour. Then it is required to place now at 5 kilometer. Then cantilever gantry signs are to be placed 500 meter, 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer, 5 kilometer. Provide shoulder mounted sign at the nosing and provide 1 kilometer sign in Hindi and or the 2 kilometer sign in regional languages. The dimension of the signboards are 4.1 meter by 3 meter, 1.2 meter by 900 mm, and text height should be 460 mm. So it is basically, facility information sign in case of toll that 1033, and its integration is also being going on. Two different colors are being used in ISC 67. This now blue color has come, and earlier ministry has issued this color. So both kind of signs are being fixed. So let the feedback comes to IRC, and accordingly further revisions can be done. And these signs are to be placed at every 5 kilometer for each direction of travel. Then parking signs, wherever the parking is to be placed in case of on the service road, then these parking signs are to be placed. This flood gauge signs, as we have discussed in one of that team NHI, that these kind of signs are required because wherever the flooding is being undertaken on VOP or ROV, these signs help that nobody unnecessarily stuck into that VOP or underpass because of the flood waterlogging in that case. Otherwise, these signs are to be placed on the bridges to know that how much flood has come and what is the highest flood level which is required for further design of the bridges. These are the signs for differently abled persons which are to be placed, particularly in case of wayside amenities or wherever it is that parking is to be given for differently abled persons or toilet facilities are to be given. So these kind of signs needs to be placed. Then enforcement related signs. For example, in the case of this keep left sign only for the vehicle, this sign is also very effective. And give way to ambulance, these signs are to be placed. Then route marker signs, it is that for the state highway, national highway, Asian highway, particularly we have got Asian highway, one or Northeast expressway. These color signs we have to, color code we have to follow. And as I shown in one of the slide that if there is a land constraint or other thing, then you can, this color, the sign of this route marker sign can be placed in the gantry sign itself also. Then toll plaza signs, the different kind of lane 1, 2, 3, 4. Accordingly, these signs are to be placed. That 1 kilometer before toll gate you have to place, then 500 you have to place one sign. Then variable message sign, this is also it is being given that it should be single color or multicolor or number of how many number of lines one can read. Preferably it is being told that it should not be more than 2 lines because speeds are so high, only a driver cannot read more than 2 lines, and that accordingly these are to be placed. Then black spot related signs wherever the accidents are happening. So this first is caution is crash prone area whenever you are approaching that area, and it's a information to the road users because a lot of safety auditors have raised objection to this sign. It's for information only that now you are approaching crash prone area, but this sign, that rectangular sign that this is a crash prone area, that sign is to be placed again wherever it's a crashes are happening. So both these signs are required to be placed on those locations for each direction of travel. Thank you, sir.